my name is Mariana, and now we're going to talk about the OECD, or Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. It's an organization in which countries compare, exchange experiences, and public politics. That organization was created in 1960 with European Organization for Economic Cooperation, which brings together 34 countries committed the market and democratic political system. They represent 80% of the world. OECD is focused in support sustainability, economic growth, promote employment, improve living standards, maintain financial stability, collaborate with the economic development of the countries, and contribute to the growth of world trade. This organization is has been set up to channel to implementation of the Marshall Plan, with the mission to support the economic and improve the quality in education, health, and employment. Colombia in 2080 win the signature to entry in that organization. So it's a big deal, a big goal for Colombian people, and of course for the president. And now, my partners, we're going to talk about the House Colombia work for this organization and the change that the Colombians have.
Committees are expert groups for discussion and coordination. There are 23 committees for Colombia, and I'm going to talk about 3 of them. The first one is the Public Governance Committee. The objective of this committee is to assist members and partners in designing and implementing strategic, evidence-based, and innovative policies to strengthen public governance, public sector institutions, and responding to economic, social, and environmental challenges. Colombia has taken important steps to achieve a more efficient justice system. In accordance with the provisions of the National Development Plan, since 2014 to 2018, the 10-year plan was developed, which seeks to generate consensus and formulate with all the stakeholders, the judicial branch, the private sector, civil society, all the objectives in the medium and long term for this sector. The objective is to promote the coordination, efficiency, effectiveness, and modernization of the administration of justice and all the functions of the control organisms. The second one is the Regulatory Policy Committee. The main objectives of this committee are promote the strategic, evidence-based, and innovative public policy outcomes by identifying, developing, and disseminating a global vision of regulatory policy and governance. And the second one is support efforts across the whole of government and within its branches to design and deliver effective, efficient, and equitable regulatory frameworks. In 2014, the OECD's Regulatory Policy Committee met to learn about Colombia's progress with respect to the recommendation that they made for this committee. So the country showed the advance in terms of regulations, specifically the approval of CONPES, is that document 3816 of 2014, which includes a large part of the recommendations. The CONPES rethinks the way how Colombia government will issue the different regulatory measures. For example, we must implement prior impact assessments on each new regulation that will be issued. A regulation, a resolution, a law. To begin, they create 3 pilots of this evaluation, and they were implemented in different entities of the national government. The committee congratulates the country for its progress and asks to consolidate a new policy to achieve coherence between different entities against the same resolution. The third one is the Center for Fiscal Policy and Administration. Um, this one is the OECD helps those responsible for design of public policies to devise the fiscal system of the 21st century. The Center for Fiscal Policy and Administration supports the Committee on Fiscal Affairs, which works on the promotion of international tax regulations. It also provides a framework for discussing issues of fiscal policy and administration. On January 28 of 2016, the committee decided to give approval to the Policy and Tax Administration of Colombia. This is the 11th committee that gives the go-ahead to the country. And to give this approval, the committee evaluated the Colombian fiscal policy and found that it's at the level of the other 34 cities, to the other 34 countries that are members of the OECD. The OECD focus on the following topics: the exchange of tax information, the political tax and fiscal statistics, the tributation of multinational companies and transfer prices, indirect taxes, aggressive tax planning, and financial crimes. As part of the access process, Colombia has carried out important reforms, such as adherence to the Convention on Mutual Assistance in Tax Matters, which now allows Colombia to exchange tax information with more than 90 jurisdictions.
Hello, my name is Juan Carlos, and I'm going to talk about some reforms that the government has had to do to enter into the club of good practices that seeks to provide knowledge and advice for the improvement of public policies and the promotion of good governance. There are at least 10 reforms, but I'm going to talk about 2 relevant. The number 1, the issuance of the national policy for the integral management of solid waste, with the carbon tax, the tax on plastic bags, that it's a small step for a planet without plastic. Incentives for companies to promote non-conventional energy projects such as solar and wind energy. It's something very aligned with the objective 7 of the SDGs, affordable and clean energy. And number 2, application of the PISA test that make up the program for the international evaluation of students of the OCDE, which forces the country to work on the improvement of basic education. We need more reading comprehension, more education for better job offers, and to better choose our rulers.